Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. R.A., what happened last time?
We went to a Sphinx for some reason and had a chat. She's good, chilling. Probably in more danger because we went there than having just left her alone. But she gave us some factoids, a listicle. Someone else will have to fill in the gaps if any of that was important because
so glad we
I
thank you
don't
for
know.
the recap.
Just who the bad guy
So
is. That's all.
glad.
It was just who the bad guy is.
Yeah, we don't. Maybe we'll never see him again. We don't know.
It's not how narratives work.
Then we went to see Stormlord Selshadra. I think I actually said it right that time. And she did not want us to go off a vulnerable Stormlord. So that
Never.
we think Thora would not be elevated to the level of Stormlord.
No. Never want a power vacuum that might allow a lesser faction to rise in power. That would be very bad.
So we're not going to the docks right now because something awful. I guess the earthquake caused something
A
awful
tsunami
at the docks.
hit the harbor.
Yeah, we hadn't been there, so we're going down there to see what's what, and not sure how we're gonna handle this yet because we haven't talked about it. So we'll probably talk about it.
Indeed. You have just left Lady Selshadra's office and the Lord Smart's palace. The cordon of Warforge from the Iron Watch allow you to pass, and you head out into the marketplace to go where you will.
I guess we got to go back to the house so that Pog can drop off his new
Right.
chair.
Yeah, I really don't want to carry this all around all day.
I figured not. So
Why
I guess
did
we
you
head back
take that
way.
again?
Apparently, you didn't get a good chair because this one I was not going to leave behind.
I mean, those chairs are literally made for our butts. Like, I mean, I don't know what she's going to do with
I
our
did not
3
use a chair.
chairs. Oh, you didn't?
I
sit
prefer
down?
beds
You
of
should have.
moss.
You
Okay.
can sit in mine, but you have a different butt.
As we're walking to the school, presumably. So obviously we don't want this guy to return, but I also we have well established my stance on murders, so I'm not really interested in that line of thinking. I know Shade, I see the face, but it's just this weird moral thing I got about killing people.
Well, it's not like against killing people, it's against murdering people, right? Because
Yes,
I'm with
fair,
you on
yes.
that.
Yes, I will defend myself if somebody's trying to kill me, but some person that's potentially trapped in their home after a tsunami, I don't really want to roll up and slit their throat or anything.
We do have a pit at the school that we're not allowed to go to, but
idea.
not
Good idea.
technically murder.
We don't
In what
think,
way
yeah.
would it not technically be murder? Like, if the person
guess
just
if it's-
accidentally on their own walked into it?
Well, no, Ari said slit his throat, and that's different than dropping him down a hole.
It is
Right.
functionally
Alright.
different.
Right.
Let's also take kidnapping off the table for this mission, especially. Like,
What if we rescue him down to the bottom of that hole?
we don't know what's at the bottom of that hole, or if it
there
has a
is
So
no
bottom.
if he
bottom.
never lands and we don't know it, he just stays falling forever, right?
We've imprisoned him in a literal hellscape where he will starve to death while
Schrodinger's
falling forever.
hostage.
That's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Okay.
I wanted someone to arrive there.
Philip, riddle me this. Is there a check I can make to know, like, I'm trying to reconcile Eric knowledge and Ari knowledge. Is there a check I can make to know about the inner workings of the city politics vis-a-vis Jonas Wilkes?
Sure. Part of it you don't need to make a check because Lady Selshadra actually told you
Yeah.
that Wilkes is a slacker, reprobate scoundrel.
Yeah.
Wilkes is the youngest and newest Stormlord. The Wilkes family, as Selshaddra explained, have deep connections back on Corvair, going back to the old kingdom of Galifar, and that's why they were included. They were included to be the Corvair's man on the Council of Stormlords. Wilkes, Jonas's father, died suddenly and tragically, which elevated his slacker reprobate son to the post. And under Wilkes, who has mostly been generally known for laziness and has been largely willing to outsource the actual management of the docks, it's under Wilkes's regime that House Lyrandar has been allowed to build its own secondary harbor, and
Don't like that.
crime at the docks has gone up quite a lot.
Less concerned about that. But okay. So is there any additional knowledge that I could try to glean from a check, or is that basically everything?
That's most of what there is.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I get the sense, based on his reputation, that maybe he doesn't enjoy being a Stormlord that much. And so if we could convince him, due to your very insightful question, Ezri, to return to Corvair, where he's no longer available to be a Stormlord, and return to where he has connections.
I'm glad you picked up on that. I was afraid we were being too subtle. That's good.
No, in fact, I don't think subtlety was our strong suit in that conversation. I feel like Selshaddra left a lot of things between the lines, and then we pulled out a magnifying glass and screamed those things. So, yeah.
I didn't raise my voice one single time.
It's a metaphor, buddy. So, yeah, I think if we can try to convince Wilkes to leave the city, that would be a better way to go. Or we could... It's a question of how quickly we want to move directly to go after Wilkes. If we could try to, like, find something to blackmail him, like convince him to leave the city, but that might take time. And we don't want somebody getting to him first, is the problem. Thoughts?
I mean, you know my thoughts. Murder is a much faster solution to that problem.
I think murder is what we were not told that we were told to do. So I
That magnifying glass, like,
Selshaddra
murder?
has no problem with murder. I firmly believe that, and I agree with you all. I'm willing to be the stick in the mud on that point and be the one that's like, hey, maybe not murder, because yeah, it's a bad thing to do to people. And while Wilkes is an obstacle on our path to power and security in the city, that doesn't come with a death sentence, I don't feel like, just for his existence.
In general, I see what you're saying, right? Murder bad. But we kill lots of people that do bad things, and he's not a nice guy.
There's a bit of a leap between doing bad things worthy of murder, worthy of death, and not being a nice person. Like, Pog didn't kill Zot, even though Zot's a jerk to Pog and not a nice person. Even though Pog,
I really do think that's just an unfortunate misunderstanding. Zot is not. He's not who you say he is. I see him every day, just about.
What a revelation. Pog will literally be halted for a moment with this betrayal and then continue walking. That stings.
All right, I don't know if you have inspiration, but if you don't, you do now.
So I agree with the sentiment, Shade, that yes, we do kill people that do bad things. I don't think Stormlord Wilkes is somebody that falls into that category of being worthy of death.
We should probably listen. Let's go in with Plan A being not killing. But as we really should all be aware by now, plans are
killed.
Gang,
fun to make beforehand, but don't matter really.
I'm going to be upfront with you all. if you're this might not be what you're about to say, Esri, and if so, I apologize. If we're about to say plan B, if he's not willing to leave the city, then we kill him. I'm also not cool with that being a backup plan.
No.
Like,
I'm just thinking a lot of times when I've wanted to talk to somebody, they don't want to do that. They want to come
if
at
he
me
wants to kill
with
us,
something.
then yes,
Right.
stab him. Sure. If he
There it is.
tries to kill us, not if he threatens to kill us, if he tries to kill us, important distinction.
Right.
But if the options are we convince him to leave the city or convince him to abdicate his seat or whatever, or we just return him safely to Selshadra, I'm fine with having to take a step back and reformulate a plan with him returning as opposed to murdering a man. I
think
know I'm the worst, but
that Selshadra will be upset if we show up with
I don't want to kill him. Like, I don't know what.
Right.
Like,
there's-
So let's talk
there's
about the
more
ways
options than
we
killing.
can not kill them.
Lost in a jungle.
What if we pretend that you had made a deal that you would have to do whatever we were told and we had to kill him now? Does that help?
What will you give me?
Your end of the deal.
Apparently
what are you
only
offering?
600 gold.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a lot of money. What's your problem?
That is a lot of money.
Not for this.
For 2 days'
You've
work,
done this before?
you're making a year's wage, Esri, like for an average person. For 2 days' work.
I mean, this is the kind of thing where you make a life's wage.
What? We're going to find a missing person. Like, city watchmen do this all the time, and they don't get paid 600 gold.
The viewers will note that the party has already downgraded their reward 25%.
Oh, that's right.
I don't
You guys
remember.
really are bad at this.
I remember it was not I don't have to worry about money for the rest of the campaign amount.
800 gold. Yeah.
Shade thought that she doesn't have to worry about money for the rest of the campaign, and that was an amount that equaled that. Ooh,
I
poorly
mean,
worded.
We don't have to
Nailed
pay
it on
for
first try.
room. Our food is taken care of. What expenses
Right.
do you have, Esri? Like, this is all
Do
profit
you know
for
how expensive poison components are?
No.
No
you.
idea.
No.
No
And I
idea at
imagine
all.
they're expensive because they're super illegal.
You know how cheap fire is?
It's a lot safer to pay a lot of money for them.
You know how inexpensive just doling out favors willy-nilly is? Like, I don't pay for anything. I'm just giving stuff.
Yet.
I don't think the things that you pay are in gold.
No. Correct. My lineage and heritage, for one, paid that for travel. That was just the travel expense. Oof, really got worked over on that one. Anyway,
So, what do we think are our options for convincing him to go and not come back?
Step
I
one,
mean,
we
we
tell
could try
Thor.
to. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
We go drop
Well,
off.
she heard the whole conversation thanks
chair.
to Pog. So
Mm-hmm. She knows all of it.
Oh, that was such a
I
good
still
idea.
I still don't think that's how those things work.
You wouldn't know. You don't have one.
it's fair.
Did the two of you hear the conversation twice in the room? Did you hear like her and an echo? Because if not, Thora didn't hear
Sure.
anything.
Yeah. It was really hard to talk hearing the echo like that.
Oh, that's interesting to know that now, anytime we use that, everything around us can be heard by anyone else. I'm glad we've established that is how this is. I mean, listen, I can be very intimidating.
Okay. I can lie. We could try to lie to him, say that the earthquake was done by somebody trying to kill him. It was a targeted thing, and you got to get out of town. We could try that.
I could
I
knock him
could
out and we could
threaten
put
to
him in
kill
a
him.
box and send him somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were
that's not a
anti-kidnapping,
murder.
but that's not murder.
We are. I'm not making funny. It could be rescuing, because what if somebody else is supposed to go and not let him get killed, and they're going
That's-
to do it?
Now
Oh,
that's
yeah, I'm just
definitely an
now
argument we
realizing-
can make.
If he's an idiot and none of the other Stormlords like him, then there's every chance that there are
Oh.
a few other
Everyone's
groups out there
trying
having
to
this exact
yeah, we-
conversation who were hired by the
Are
other
we gonna have to
Stormlords.
protect him?
We're gonna play a game of Kill Dr. Lucky.
Love it.
In the comments if you understand that reference.
Yeah. Oh, look, the school. We made such good time getting here.
My arms are killing me.
Oh, you really should have put it on your back. That would have been easier. But
I'm holding it
Yeah,
like this.
you come through Cross and begin climbing the stairs.
With
Swords
a
of
throne.
Karn patrols on the street, keeping an eye, keeping the
Yep.
place safe. And you make your way up to the school. You attract many interesting looks as you traipse across the yard with a big old carved wooden chair, looking for all the world like you went out looting in the aftermath of a disaster and have stolen some furniture.
Just one
If-
throne.
It
But
was
a weird
present.
choice for looting.
It was a present given to him.
It's for my butt only.
It would look a lot worse if we all came back with chairs. So I'm glad that we resisted that impulse.
wouldn't it look better?
No, because now he just looks like the bad person. We're accomplices, but he's still the only one that took something.
Yes, you can bring the chair in and deliver it to your room.
Oh no, this is going to the Strike Force table. Pog
Excellent.
does not understand the idea of the head of the table, and so instead he's going to clear the chairs out from the side where he has the most room to set his arms on the table, because that feels important.
Yeah.
And that's where the chair will rest.
I significantly prefer that to the head of the table. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, right.
If I can manage that as the DM, I will always take the side
Right?
of a
Yes,
table. Yeah.
absolutely. The long side on a table for
Yeah.
for DMing is so much better.
Without leaving Pog behind taking his chair upstairs, Ari would head to Thor's office.
Okay. It's middle of the day. Thor is not in her office, but she's out and about in the building. And so you encounter her.
Hey,
Did
did you get all that?
Seems to have gone interestingly.
Yep. Thoughts on the request?
Wilkes is more responsible than any other member of the Stormlords for the increasing prominence of the Dragonmarked houses in Stormreach. His family are essentially a non-entity at this point, except for him. He was probably, until he became a Stormlord, a prominent member of the Golden Lions.
Oh, really?
And he's generally a scoundrel and a cheat. So,
Fair enough.
I suppose I say if he stops being on the Stormlord Council, then regardless of what other things might happen, good riddance.
All right. Well, what
Point
time
of
of
order.
day is it, Philip? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, actually, that's basically. Have we had a long rest since we went? since we had our big fight? Like just
I don't think
No.
so. Yeah.
no. Okay.
It's 2:36 in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Oh, that's very specific.
At least the kids are in class right now.
Nope. Still not having classes, man. There was an earthquake yesterday.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
3 of the teachers have not been here for
That's never
Quite a
stopped
while.
classes before. Arlo takes up our workload because he's a saint.
As far as
All
you
right.
know, Arlo teaches your classes as you.
That's very funny.
That's valid.
Oh, Ari would hate to see Arlo's impression of him. Oh,
It's
God.
entirely possible that Arlo covers for you in a Ferris Buellerian act.
All right. Well, gang, what do we need to do before we head out? Like I said, we might have other factions looking to take advantage of this.
So we should go quickly, right?
I mean, Ari's bleeding still. Like, Ari's got blood caked on the side of his face. Like, I guess I said he cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, Ari's well beyond bloodied and on the verge of passing out in terms of health.
Do we
So-
think we'll need magic to? Do you think I will need any magical ability at all?
Hopefully not. I mean,
Because-
I'm pretty good on my magic, and if we need to fiddle with his mind to get him to do what we want, I can handle that side of things.
Yeah. If he wants to fight, I might as well not go.
Okay. Well,
It's not entirely
I
true.
feel fine, but if he were to stab me, I would pass out. But otherwise, I feel fine.
would it be fair to say we've taken a short rest during these walking around meetings, stuff like that, Philip?
Probably. That would be okay.
I
Okay.
feel better.
Ari's natural healing on the walk over kicked in.
That was such a good roll.
Gotta be honest, I
I'm
don't know
rolling
what
so
Be Beyond
poorly.
means by automatically
Alright.
apply healing with dice result, because they don't.
Mine did.
Mine does.
I said do it, and it didn't do anything.
And right before your eyes, Ari looks like a fresh spring daisy. All right. Well, yeah,
Never mind. He'd have
I'm-
to stab me several times.
I'm feeling much better now that I think about it. Thora, being in your presence is really reinvigorating. How are you feeling,
She's a
Pog?
really good leader.
Pog, you good?
I'm working on it. I don't know how I feel yet.
All right, buddy. You just let us know. The chair, no,
Chair
all
will be
4
here
legs
when
go
we
on the
get
ground,
back.
Pog. That's how chairs work.
Hate it.
Any insights, Thora? You obviously know more about the inner workings of the Stormlords and the city politics and stuff than we probably do. Anything we should look out for if we're headed to Wilkes's house to start this little investigation? Yeah.
Well, the Harbor Master's house is his office. The actual Harbor Master is a cousin of his, Berrigan
Okay.
Inge. He's more competent, but not less crooked.
Okay.
Criminal presence, dock rats, fleas.
I've got to run with the fleas before. Or wait, no, we ran with the dock rats.
Dock
right?
rats. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, okay. So I look around. Is there anybody near that can be eavesdropping on this conversation that we're having with Thora?
I mean, people are going in and out because there's still quite a lot of people sleeping on your lawn.
I close the distance by half between myself and Thora and just kind of in a hushed tone say, my thinking is to encourage him to leave the city. With all the connections him and his family have back in Corvair, he doesn't seem to enjoy being a Stormlord in the functions of the job. Is there anything that...
I would say he doesn't enjoy doing the job, but he probably enjoys reaping the benefits.
Okay.
He's made himself quite wealthy. He's made himself quite wealthy and simply outsourced the parts of a job he doesn't want to do. Collecting dues and tariffs, he does quite efficiently.
Okay, so if we wanted to get him to just leave town permanently...
I mean, if he was just bored of the job and had the option to leave town and go on a personal vacation, then he probably already would have done that.
Fair enough. Ari kind of shrugs. You got any dirt on him? Anything we can use as leverage?
Some people think he murdered his father. I don't have any evidence of it. And I don't know that it would go very far as a detriment to his reputation in this town.
Fair enough. Would he care if people knew, though?
I don't know. He might.
Okay.
As I say, I don't know of any way to prove that he did.
Okay. Thoughts, gang?
I think step one is find him.
Yeah.
The message needs to get across that he's no longer a Stormlord. And it's up to him about how that demotion goes.
Mm-hmm.
In what way his loss of position is accomplished.
Thora, do you have where I could find an image of his father?
Not off the top.
I almost asked her if she had a picture of his dad. I was like, why would she ever do that? Like,
Oh yes, in the North Hallway. It's a portrait of all Stormlords of all time.
Not off the top of my head.
All right. If we come across a image of his dad, if I can get a decent likeness of him, and I'm telling this to the rest of the group, maybe I could use my illusory mind tricky abilities to make him see a ghost of his dad that swears vengeance on him for murdering him and scare him into leaving the city that way, is my thinking. But I don't know what his dad looked like, so all right. Well, Shade's right. First step, find the guy. Fingers crossed, find his corpse. But barring that, find him. Ari has no problem if the tsunami killed him. That's just life in Stormreach, baby. But
well,
I'm keeping an interesting track of the strange moral compass that what's acceptable, what we can do to this guy and what we can't.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see this progressive graph.
Throw him in pit? No. Throw him in box? Yes. Like I think that's where we've landed in terms of the nuance of the line.
Falsify evidence and blackmail him? Sure.
I think we can throw him in anything that we know has a bottom and won't kill him.
Listen, he's a corrupt jerk. Ari has no problem cheating, and stealing his way into getting this guy out of his job. He just doesn't want to murder him. That's Ari's just don't kill him. That's where Ari's at. But yeah, blackmail,
don't be so
lying, convincing him his dad's ghost is wearing a blood vengeance oath on him. Yeah, all that's fine. But just don't kill him.
Right. Fair enough.
To the Harbor District, unless you all got something else we need to do here at the school before we head out. Thora, unless you have anything else for us before we head out.
If we know where his dad's remains are, we don't need an image.
Nah, man, I don't think so. That can be plan X.
Practical
How about
effects
that?
are very effective.
Yeah, but his dad didn't do anything to us, and I feel like desecrating his remains is not cool.
That's just a point of view.
Yeah, it's my point of view. So listen, buddy, listen right now. Here is an olive branch. If I die and you all have done everything you can to bring me back, then sure, like I'll donate my body to your science, Esri. But let's just not dig up Stormlord Dad body and carry it around town, because that'll draw some eyes, like when you carried Tyrus's decapitated head around town. That was notable to people. So, but yes.
I'm going to say let's leave it as an option.
Yes, Plan
As
X.
a maybe.
I'm fine with it being Plan X. Any other thoughts or plans, gang, before we head out to find him? Pog, you're being quiet. Are you okay, buddy?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to do it.
All right.
We're not going to have a plan for this.
Not with that attitude. Let's go.
Okay, so we head out into the streets and travel south towards, or not south, east, towards the harbor. So it's not very difficult to move across your neighborhood at this point. But about the time you get towards the edge of the cross district, the ground starts to become noticeably damp.
Okay.
You start to see pools of water in low places where the waves pushed in and water settled, and so it starts to be noticeable. There's a lot more damage here than over closer to where you are. But you are able to move steadily on into the harbor. So your task in getting to the Harbor Lord's house is going to involve some dice checks.
All right.
So I'm going to need the immediate problem is simply practical. As you get into the harbor, it's very clear that while the worst of the surge has subsided, there's large portions of the harbor that were built up that are no longer built up and are now effectively underwater. And so it requires some physical effort to navigate your way across the harbor. Yes. So I need everyone to give me either athletics or acrobatics check.
You're a kind and benevolent god.
Move across the harbor district.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
Okay.
Before doing that.
$25 for Ari.
Good.
17 for Shade.
17 for Pog.
18.
Nice. Okay. So you're moving from platform to platform fairly effectively. A bit in, you see a building that's kind of half keeled over. And based on the architecture and the signage, any of you who have been in the Harbor District much probably recognize this as the Riedran Embassy in Stormreach. And looking at it, the thing that draws your attention really has nothing to do with the building exactly. It's the fact that there are a large number of half giants and some ogres and some hill giants that are tearing it apart. Like they've smashed a hole in the wall, they're tossing furniture out of it, and kicking the whole thing just into smithereens.
Ari would speak up. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Ari and maybe the rest of you, depending on your awareness of the imagery associated with the various factions in town, might recognize from their tattoos that they're members of the Titans gang.
Yeah, Ari would speak up and go, "Hey, what's going on, friends?"
Why?
You know them.
One of them looks up. A hill giant looks up.
Ari would say this.
Hill giant looks up, reaches down, pulls off a piece of the wall, and sort of hefts it in a sort of Andre the Giant threatening Carrie Elway's way that's almost half friendly, and says, "What's it to you?"
Just curious. There's someone trapped in there, or what's going on?
We should be so lucky.
I've noticed the Titans around town assisting with cleanup efforts and stuff. Do you all need any assistance in your efforts in helping clean up the city?
What, you want to help us trash the place?
You're trashing the place. Why are you
There's
trashing
room.
the place?
What was her phrase? And a half giant comes, leans out of an upper floor, of a hole in the upper floor wall, and says, "It was, we must stand up to our oppressors and take retribution for the crimes against our ancestors."
Well,
That.
I mean, 10s across the board on that regard, but is the city your oppressors, or?
No. Just. No. Just the Riedrins.
Oh. Okay, what the Riedrins do? I'm not familiar. I just see their embassies and stuff. I don't know who they are, really.
Our ancestors were enslaved by them.
Oh, okay. Carry on then. Good on you.
We were going to anyway. It was just
I
a
know,
question of whether I threw this at your head first.
I'm saying, please don't throw it at my head. I support what you're doing. So, and
Please don't. He can't dodge.
That's a lie. I'm very good at dodging. Thank you.
Never seen it.
Who you
he
said
sort of
she,
lazily pulls a chunk of the wall off.
you said she said who's she?
Boss.
Who's the boss?
What? Red. Red's the boss.
Red. We're House Tarkanan. We're in Cross, and we're
Tell your friends.
yeah. Tell your friends. we're looking to
I don't have one of the.
we're looking to make friends and allies in the city, and I would love to meet Red sometime.
She's not here.
Where is she?
Why do you want to know?
We're House Tarkanan. We're trying to make friends in the city with other factions, and you just said that Red was your boss, and I would love to sit down and talk with the boss of the Titans gang, because you all are very effective in what you do. And yeah, I mean, we also have our fair share of oppressors as well that we are looking for protection and retribution and to stand up to. And so I feel like we have an alliance of purpose in that regard.
Were your ancestors enslaved by Riedrins?
Our ancestors were murdered by the dragon-marked houses.
Do we care about the dragon-marked houses? No, we don't care. We don't care about the dragon-marked houses.
I know, but this could be a scratch your back, scratch ours kind of thing. Like, you got a problem with the Riedrins, we help. You got a problem with... See, there's a spot that you can't reach right in the middle, right?
So y'all know where
And that's
Storm Lord Wilkes lives around here? Is that something you know?
Harbor Lord,
Yes. Yes.
Harbor Master's house on that way.
All right. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye. Leaving now.
So you
The hill
don't
giant
know where
turns
Red
and-
is.
That's not what I said. Smashes another piece of the wall off. If Red wants to meet with you, Red can decide to meet with you.
Will you remember to tell her that he would like to talk to her?
Maybe.
No is an okay answer. We won't make you feel bad for it.
I can't know if I will remember things.
That means
In
you
the
will
future.
not.
I might
That
remember.
that definitely
I might
means
not.
you won't.
Come on, Pog. Ezra's walking away. We should probably keep up. He's not
Why
walking
are you
fast. He's just
McGregor?
walking away.
He's walking on Ray so slowly. Easy to catch up.
He is literally just right there. I can almost grab him. He left 3 minutes ago.
What? Would it have looked good if we had fought them?
Who's looking?
All right, is that in character or is that fought the
Yes.
Titans? I don't think so.
I mean, they were tearing down a building, and people like it when you stand up to someone and say, "Don't do that."
They like it
That's
less
fair.
when you end up as
That's
a
what all the-
stain on the
That's
ground.
what all the cool characters on TV do.
Hey, leave that building I don't know about alone. You stop that,
Hey, you
hooligans.
kids.
It might be important to them. Shade thinks people have emotional attachments to all sorts of things that don't make sense.
The Avengers, famous defenders of property.
This is when
Shades
Netflix had to let go
Ditties.
of the Gritty on the Street series.
Y'all are giving
Shade-
Shade a hard time, but people like their things, okay?
Shade's list of things that she doesn't understand attachments to: money, property, other people. It's just weird, right?
Buildings now.
Their own life.
Yes.
Like it's just wild.
Okay. Proceeding along, give me another check of either athletics or acrobatics as you begin to get into. You're kind of moving from upper floor balconies to upper floor balconies at this point. It's there's rigging and netting stretched between some buildings, but the water here is now probably a good 10 feet above the street level in some places.
Guidance.
What a time for a natural 20. 27.
I did athletics last time. This time I'm going to do acrobatics because it matters.
I rolled a 19.
15.
17.
Okay. Ari, take damage as though you pushed.
No, I didn't push.
I know. And because most of you succeeded, Shade, just as Ari is jumping from one building to another, you see a bit of movement in the water.
Nah, dude.
I know.
And have just enough time to cry out before a sinuous white body with blue scales flecked across it leaps up out of the water and snaps at Ari as he clears the jump to the other building.
You're supposed to turn away from the mic when you do that. Oh, over here.
I got a note that I turn away from my mic too much, so I try not to.
So yes,
Where do they-
Ari bites you
Ow.
for
I told you to look out.
12
I-
piercing and 1 poison damage.
And there was
Ouch.
an and.
Ow! A fish person bit me.
No.
What?
What you're looking at is a large, long, serpenty body with big, crooked legs like a sea dragon that's now clambered halfway up onto the roof, having failed to grab you and pull you down into the depths.
Oof.
Okay, do we know what this is? Do any of us know what this is?
I would accept a nature check if you'd like to.
I
would
do that.
like to.
Hey,
Sorry.
Shade, what is that?
I just haven't rolled something with a -1. I got an 18. My fear of aquatic life forms has led me to an education.
28.
Holy cow.
Pog
shoot water.
Its name.
and Pog and Shade know that this is a creature called a lindworm, which is like a dragon without the incredible ancient intelligence that dragons come with. That is an amphibious creature that hunts usually in quite deep water. For it to be up here, you would imagine it probably got thrown up in here by the storm surge. So now we're rolling initiative.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What is escape combat in D&D?
How did I I have advantage on
Declare you're
initiative,
running
and I
away?
rolled the exact same both times.
Oh.
I should have switched to the loud dice.
Should we should train this thing back to the Titans.
Why are we giving this away? We have a bottomless pit.
Shade, what did you roll?
16.
Ari?
8.
Pog?
8. 2 times.
Esri?
3.
Cool. So the situation is that Ari and Pog are on the roof of a building. Esri and Shade are on the roof of a different building, and there's about a 10-foot gap between them that's water about 5 feet below the roof line. The lindworm is a large creature. The front part of its body has its claws on the roof, and it is snapping at Ari. So that's what it's going to do.
Don't like it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, sounds cool, but
Having
think it could
failed,
come live
so
with us and the.
it snaps at the air right behind Ari, failing to pull you down. And Ari, you see its head sort of twist and dive towards you on the roof. It is going to make an attack against you at only a 14, which I think does not hit you.
Yeah. Ari does the shuffle backwards thing as it scoots towards him.
Yeah, it coils around the chimney of the roof that it was trying to coil around you and crushes it into bricks, and then rakes out at you with its claws.
I have less problems with killing this thing. Please kill it.
25 to hit you.
Yes.
So take 8 slashing damage, and then 14 to hit you does not hit you. So you get the claw hits you, knocks you back, and the second claw sweeps through the air near you. Shade, you're up.
Oof. I would like to cast Entangle on it.
Okay. So the rooftop erupts in vines, and it makes a strength save.
Yes.
That's actually really bad. That's only a 9. So yeah, that fails.
Excellent. Sweet. Yes. Now it won't escape into the water.
So vines erupt from the wall, wrap around it, and grab the creature, anchoring it to the wall. Okay.
Run? Can we run?
I mean, we could.
Pog.
Being right next to it, seeing it get all tangled, we're gonna swing on it.
Great. It is restrained, so you have advantage.
Huzzah! Oh my god, these rolls are not going well. So, yeah, I'm gonna push that.
Buddy, you're rolling your d12 for damage instead of your d20.
Oh my god, you are 100% correct.
That's probably why you're rolling so low.
There we go. Here we are. I'm going to hold the push. 13 is the best. No, 25 to hit. There we go.
25 does hit.
Okay, so then we'll damage it. You are not wrong. 10 on the damage for the first.
Okay.
And then just swing at it for the second attack. 22.
Hits.
That one will do 7. Yeah, that's going to do that.
Okay, so yeah, you rush up and rake your axe back and forth across its scales, and then it is Ari's turn.
Ari's going to use some spell points to quicken Shadow of Moil. Cast that on himself, so he's wreathed in dark, shadowy fog that heavily obscures him to sight, and then he is going to step up and attack the lindworm, trying to get on its side, slashing through the scales with remembrance. So first attack, that is a 25 to hit.
That will
See
hit.
how it likes it. 6 damage. Thank you. 1 on the damage die. And for the second attack, $22 to hit.
Also hits.
9 damage.
Okay. And Esri.
It's a no then to okay.
We can't leave this thing just roaming around the city. We're lucky it attacked
we
us
could-
and not some helpless person.
Yeah,
Not
it
too
definitely
far
has.
off
Hasn't
from
done
me.
Philip, let Ari live in a fantasy world, please.
Eric needs to know about how many people are inside this creature's stomach right now.
All right. Poison spray. Have it make a Constitution saving throw, please. 16.
Ezra, if you want to run, feel free. We'll catch up to you. It won't be hard.
That's only a 6.
Hits.
I'm sorry. A 9. Turns out it's
Hits,
proficient in that save.
11 poison damage.
It seems entirely unaffected by poison.
Oof.
It's not breathing.
This is how it. Yeah.
How what?
The end.
Okay, back around to the lindworm. The lindworm sort of thrashes unsuccessfully, and then will bite at Pog for a lot.
It'll probably hit then.
Pog take 11 piercing and 5 poison damage. And then it claws at Ari for 23.
I will cast Shield.
Okay.
So he misses.
And then second claw is less than that, so that will also miss. So yes, the claws rake across the force field, almost like shuddering you backwards with the force of the impact.
What size is this thing, Philip?
Large.
Large?
So it's It's probably, when stretched out, like 20 feet long. Okay. Then it is Shade's turn.
I am across the building from it, right?
Yeah, you're on the other
Okay.
side of the gap. It's about 10 feet away from you.
I'm gonna shoot it with an arrow.
Okay.
16?
16. Well, your arrow hits and bounces off of its scales.
Well, that doesn't feel great.
Mechanically, you missed. I'm just.
Right.
Being
Just rubbing it
evocative
in.
with the words.
I didn't want you to have the impression that it was like immune to arrows or something.
Like poison.
I mean, it is immune to poisoning.
She tries again for 19.
19 does hit.
Feels very much more satisfied by that. And 10 damage.
Okay. So your second arrow sinks home. The creature shrieks in rage, and it's going to use its reaction to use its poisonous defense. Just a cloud of poisonous mist seeps out of it from under its scales. And I need Pog and Ari to both make Constitution saving throws.
Great.
Sorry.
Not your fault. Do I use my inspiration? No, I'm going to say my
Only you
inspiration.
can answer.
I get a 15.
Got an 8.
All right, Pog, you pass, so you will take half damage. Ari, you take 24 poison damage. Pog, you take 12.
Whoa.
This sucks.
And it is Pog's turn.
Kill it with fire, please.
With that being said, which fire am I going to attack it, not kill it with? I have options for fire. We're going to start with literally what's in hand, and as a bonus action, going to make my undetermined battle cry and cast Green Flame Blade, the special on the heroic axe, and swing on it for 25.
That will hit.
For come on, mouse. For 9.
You finally named your axe.
And attack it a second time
Okay.
with a 15.
15 misses.
And we'll make the first swing against the scales and the second swing with them and glance right off.
Okay. Then Ari, you're up.
Ari extends remembrance, pointing at the thing and saying, "May all memory of you be wiped from this plane of existence." And I need a wisdom saving throw.
Rude.
Boy, it's rolling really consistently on its saves. A 9.
Okay, so it is going to take, hopefully it's not immune to necrotic damage, as gray fog of the Forgotten Prince envelops this thing, and it takes 23 points of necrotic damage as you hear a faint bell toll in the distance.
Ooh. Okay.
And then Ari coughs very fervently in the wake of the cool moment.
Yeah, so you see some of its scales kind of lose their luster a little bit, and it growls in pain.
Sorry, Philip. It should have. No, it didn't hit me with the attack because I used shield. Never mind. Sorry.
All right, and Esri.
Well, I can try necrotic damage as well. I will chill touch at it. 23 to hit.
That does.
It can have 9 necrotic damage. Is it?
Take 9 necrotic damage.
It's not an undead fish.
It is not.
Semi-dragon. Okay.
Not until you bring it back to life.
I don't think I can this thing unless it just happens to classify as a beast.
All right, it's going to attempt to escape the restraint. That's pretty good. That's 23, so that will pass Shade's target number. So it suddenly twists violently, and it's not so much that the vines give way as the wall that it's latched onto breaks. And it twists, tearing at the wall and the vines, and dives underwater again, and quickly swims away. Pog and Ari, I need you to both make dexterity saving throws as the wall it was on goes down and part of the roof collapses.
Dirty 20.
19.
Okay, both of you dive back from the crumbling wall and avoid falling into the water with this thing. And it is obviously moving away from you, but with its move, it's still, about 40 feet away from you. So you can tell me whether, it's Shade's turn, so if you want to do anything about it, otherwise it's starting to move away from you.
I would like to shoot it with an arrow.
Sure. I'm going to say you have disadvantage because it's underwater.
That's
21.
That's dumb.
Okay. That works.
For 7 damage.
Okay.
And can I take my second action or just...
Yeah.
Disadvantage sucks.
Yeah.
9 does not hit.
True. Okay. Is Pog, are you going to attempt to do anything?
I don't think I can see it from where I am.
I mean, if you stand up on the roof, you can see it swimming away.
I will. Yeah, I don't have anything for 40 feet away. No, so I will
In the
hop
water?
up and yell tauntingly after it about how scared of us it is.
Mhm.
To a fish
Ari?
monster.
Ari will Eldritch Blast it as it swims away.
Okay.
First beam, 26.
That will hit.
I'll just roll all my attacks before I roll damage, just so we're not going back and forth. Second attack is 15.
That will not hit.
Third attack is 15, so only one.
Will not.
9 psychic damage. Or not psychic damage, force damage. Sorry.
Okay. And Esri.
What are y'all shooting at?
The monster that's trying to eat people.
All memory of that monster has left this plane. Walk away.
The creature moves and dashes, and you lose sight of it as it swims away.
I'm sure it'll never be a problem again.
Probably
Of
not
course
for
not.
us, but some family's going to get killed, so
Maybe a Jonas.
maybe Jonas. Ari,
Jonas, maybe. You really only got one Jonas that you want it to kill.
That's true. That's true.
Might be
Ari
some guy whose name
gestures.
is Jonas, and he's just here in the world, and then
He's carrying it.
Yep.
Ari gestures remembrance away. Well, I guess we might as well get back on it. Do we still have some of those healing potions from earlier? Because that thing really got me good.
Yes, we do have the very valuable healing potions.
Are you going to sell them? Like, I don't get what, like, are you heading to the pawn shop after this to sell some healing potions?
No, it's true. We could replace a few of them with the fee we'll get from this job. How many do you want? We have 3.
Just one. It's cool.
All right. It's a grader.
How many D4s is that? 3? 4?
44 plus 4.
All right. Gets me close to half.
Cool. All right, so proceeding roof to roof, about a half hour later, you see before you the harbor master's house, which is only partially underwater. And it is there that we will leave this episode.
Oh.
Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Khyber Shards. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find links to all of our social media in the description down below. If you want to hear Eric and I playing more RPGs, you can do so on the Eberron Renewed podcast. If you want to see Colin playing video games, you can do so at twitch.tv/sorrybtr. The O is 0. New episodes of Khyber Shards drop every Monday. New Khyber Shards answers every Friday. And until next time, thanks for rolling with us.